All right, what you see here is 12 ounces of lean turkey kielbasa. And I'm choosing this because I am on Weight Watchers and my husband's also trying to lose some weight. So I'm going to make the roll-ups with kielbasa that has turkey as a main ingredient. To start this going, I'm going to make the kielbasa in one pan and the veggies in another, because I'm also going to make a chicken dish and I'm going to share the veggies between the two meats. So I don't want to mix the kielbasa in with the veggies yet. So over here we have 2 fry pans. I'm going to put just a touch of oil into this one and just a touch into this one, so we can get the veggies and the meats started. And I'll put the kielbasa, or kielbasa as we call it, into this pan. And I'm also going to put potatoes in there because the kielbasa meal is going to have potatoes in it. It's more for my husband than me. Oops. So now this is already cooked. It's kind of like hot dogs. You can, it's already cooked. You don't have to worry about eating them raw or something. But they taste better if you kind of brown them up a little. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I've also, over here, got my veggies prepped. I've got them in these bowls here. And this bottom bowl is cauliflower. So I'm going to use that more for my meal, half for my husband's meal. And where did I put my potatoes? Oh, they're right here. Here's my potatoes. I had them in water so they wouldn't turn brown. So I'll drain those. All right, let me turn this down a little while I'm getting my taters ready. Right, my camera keeps cutting out on me. What I put in here from all these bowls was 4 cups of cauliflower, 2 chopped onions, about a cup of chopped multicolored bell peppers, and a cup of carrots. So we're going to let those cook down a little bit. Maybe get the onions caramelized a little bit and the carrots caramelized a little bit and make them sweeter. We don't want to cook them too much because these are going to be cooked further in the pressure cooker and in the oven. So the potatoes went in with the meat, and as they get a little dry, I'm just adding a touch of water to kind of steam them. We'll let those cook down just a bit. We don't want them mushy, just don't want them hard. Now to prepare the cabbage, I took a head of cabbage, I put it in a big pot of water, and I boiled it for 5 minutes. Then I took it out and I cut the core out and then removed the leaves one at a time. And I've got the biggest ones on this plate, then I got a bunch of smaller ones over here on this plate. So these will be the ones I'll be stuffing. Time to add the spices to the veg. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. I've got allspice here, and I'm going to add maybe a 1/4 teaspoon eighth to a quarter teaspoon of allspice. What I forgot to put in was the garlic. I've got 4 cloves of chopped garlic here, so we'll get those in now. And then I've got some Italian seasoning. And we'll add half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Nope, let's make that a teaspoon. There's going to be enough, we can use a teaspoon. Okay. And then we're going to need some pepper. So I'm shaking in, I don't know, probably quarter teaspoon of pepper. It's all to taste. You never should just cook and not taste it. So as you cook it, taste it. If it needs more salt, put in more salt. If it needs more pepper, put in more pepper. You can always add more, but you can't take it out. Alright, this is starting to look pretty good. Like I don't want it to cook anymore on top of the stove. It's turned off. This pan is also going nicely. The water that I added is cooking off. I'll wait till that's completely gone. Then the potatoes should be al dente because we don't want them all the way soft yet. So let me get rid of my mess here. You remember these bowls? I told you that I had gotten them at holler.com, that I got the whole set with lids. There's 5 bowls, glass bowls. They feel like Anchor Hocking bowls. They're not marked or anything. And they come with these little clip-on lids. 5 of them for $3 on holler.com. So if you're interested in that, there's a link below. You can check out Holler. It's hit and miss there. Sometimes they have great stuff and sometimes you don't find so much. But I've enjoyed going there and bargain hunting and getting the deals. I also got this canning funnel for $1 there. So it's worth checking out. And if you use the link below, you get a bonus too. And I think I get a little bonus as well. So we both have a win-win there if you decide you like it. All right, now I'm going to take half of these veggies and put them in with the meat. Meat and potatoes. Now we have our kielbasa, potatoes, and all the mixed veggies together. That's going to be the stuffing for the kielbasa cabbages. And this one is going to do 1 or 2 other things. So we'll save these veggies for something else later on in the video. Now when I get ready to roll up my cabbages, I do a little trick with them that is very helpful. Some people cut out the thick part of the vein here and leave this V-shaped hole so they can roll them up without that tough vein in there to make it difficult. But what I do is I just take my knife and I trim it, make it thinner, and pull it out. And then they roll quite easily. So that's what I've done to all of these in this pile. Let me get my bigger ones, they're easier. Yeah. So you take your trimmed cabbage, you put a couple of tablespoons of your filling in, and then you roll it up. If you've steamed them enough, they should roll pretty easily. This one's a little difficult. I'm going to have a lot of mixture left over. So I'm going to make a casserole as well as the rolled up cabbage rolls. One with a couple of casseroles, one with chicken and one with the cabbages. Right, here I have a greased casserole dish, a little olive oil in it, and I've got some crushed tomatoes. I'm going to put a few of those in the bottom. And let that juice steam and cook the rest of the cabbage all the way. All right, then I'm going to lay some cabbage leaves in the bottom. Again, break them up. We'll put in some of the mixture. Now this should be half the amount that we originally calculated. The diced tomatoes are 0 points, and they count a half cup serving as a serving, so we're all safe there. I'll chop up these little leaves here and lay them in. The last layer on. And how's that look? So we'll put this cabbage and potato casserole aside while we work on the chicken casserole. We'll put it in this dish. This could serve 4 people, but the points are so low you could actually serve 2 people and still be within your Weight Watcher points. All this is one nice size portobello mushroom. That in. I like them for volume, and I kind of like the taste too. I like to peel my mushrooms, so I just grab the edge up here under the cap and give them a tug, and the brown skin comes off and leaves a nice white clean flesh underneath, and it's pretty easy to do. And I just go back and trim up a couple pieces that might be left. Take off most of the stem, trim up the edge, and then chop them up. If you don't like mushroom, leave it out. It will make a bit of difference. Add some more something else, carrots or the veg you like that is 0 points. So there's 2 big mushrooms in that bowl. Not your Gunda ones, not like the kind you stuff and eat like hamburgers. All right, the next thing I'm going to put in is the chicken. Here is a cup of leftover chicken. It was cooked with carrots, so there's a little orange showing, but that's fine. I'm going to put the chicken in. And then I'm coming back over to our veg that we cooked. And I'm going to put the rest of that in there. So this is probably going to end up serving 4 people by the time the volume gets done. But it's only 1 cup of chicken. So far, what points do you see? No points in the veggies. There might be a point or 2 in the olive oil that I greased the pan with, but I used so little, I don't even know if I have to count that. So far, this is like 0 points for this casserole. Now I wanted to put some black beans in here to give it even more volume. But I was out of black beans. So I'm going to open a can of my home canned navy beans and put in about a cup of those. And mix those all in. And remember, we had already seasoned the vegetables, so all those seasonings are going through this. All right, and I'm going to add maybe half a cup of crushed tomatoes. No points there either. Now, if you wanted to, you could put cheese on this. You'd have to count your cheese. Now, you shouldn't go crazy with it. Like, if you sat down and ate this whole thing just because it said no points, that wouldn't be smart. I'd say half of it would be safe. So I'm going to serve half to me and half to my husband another time, or half to me and then save it for lunch. I think that looks pretty good for no points. You can make a chili similarly, but you know what? I'm going to add some cabbage. I'm going to cut up this cabbage into small pieces and stir it in. Cabbage will add volume and flavor and moistness to the casserole. Get that all stirred in good. And at this point, I think it could use maybe another half a cup of the crushed tomatoes. Once it gets cooking, that'll all get absorbed in there, and it will help cook down the veggies even further. Okay, now to make it look nice, we'll clean up the dish. We do want an attractive dish when we serve it. Just cleaning up the tomato sauce on the edges. And there we have it. Our chicken, bean, veggie, tomato casserole. I think it's going to be really good. And it's close to 0 points on the Weight Watchers Freestyle program. Well, now before this goes into the oven, I'm going to get a little decadent. We are at 0 points after all, so I'm going to spend a few points and put on a 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese. And that would be 2 points per serving. I'm going to call this serving 2. Even though we could probably get 4 servings out of it, we're going to call it serving 2. Then we can eat a lot. And I'm also going to put a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs on top, and that would be 1.5 more points per serving. So that's 3.5 points per serving if you count this casserole as being 2 servings. And those are pretty big portions. Doesn't it look yummy? Okay, time to go into the oven. And we're going to bake that for 30 or 40 minutes just to get it really nice and hot and bubbly. Now, I don't have a rack for my pressure cooker in the bottom, so I put in some peeled carrots to serve as a rack, and I'm putting in a cup of water. And now I'm going to lay my cabbage rolls in over on top of the carrots. Sometimes things in the bottom of a pressure cooker can get scorched, so the water and the carrot should help keep the golumpkies or stuffed cabbage rolls from getting scorched. Alright, they're all in. I'm going to pour some crushed tomatoes over the top. This is half of a 28-ounce can. Alright, and now I'm going to put my lid on, making sure that my seal, my rubber seal, is in there correctly. That's important. Making sure this little doodad right there is loose and will wiggle. And I'll put it on, seat it, lock it, put it in the sealed position on this dial, and then I'm gonna click the potatoes section because the meat is already cooked, and the only thing that really needs doing is the potatoes need to be cooked. That says 13 minutes. So what's going to happen is this is going to take some time to come up to pressure, and then it'll start counting down 13 minutes. And when the pressure's down, then, or when the 13 minutes is over, then it will need to release pressure before I can open it. Here's our first casserole I made. This is the one with the cabbages and potatoes and cabbage, and that's gonna need to go into the oven now. If you like my little casserole dish here, I got that at Aldi. I think it was about $8. I just bought it last week to match my kitchen. So into the oven it goes. So we got 2 casseroles in there and some stuffed cabbages in the electric pressure cooker. We're going to have good dinner and some to spare. It has to pressure cook for 2 more minutes, and then it will shut off, and we'll wait for the pressure to come down so that the lid opens automatically. It won't open when there's too much pressure in there. Well, the pressure has come down and enough so I can open the lid now. That's coming off, and we're going to remove the stuffed cabbages and see what we got. And here's a delicious plate of stuffed cabbages. Thanks so much for coming by and visiting at the Bandana Gramma Kitchen. And if you really like my videos, please remember to hit that thumbs up down below, the like button. That really helps my channel. And it also helps if you want to share my video with your friends, maybe on Facebook or Google+, to let them know that you enjoy watching Bandana Gramma. If you'd like to contact me, there's contact information and special links down below in the Share More section. So come back again real soon. If you don't find me in my kitchen, come on out back to the garden. I'll probably be there.